Hello, Mitchell.
Hello, Dao.
How are you?
I'm pretty well, mate.
That's good.
How are you?
I'm good now that we've had some dinner.
That was delicious, actually.
Yeah, we cooked up some beef and some pumpkin soup and things like that, and it was good.
And it was probably the cup of soup that I got. Well, it was sort of a cup of soup. It was a bowl.
It's
cup.
basically like a bucket of soup.
It wasn't like a bucket with a cup handle on
Yeah,
it.
it's good. I like those cups. But
Nice pumpkin soup.
you don't feel like as much of a fat piece of crap if you have soup from a cup.
No, that's right. It wouldn't matter.
But the good thing is the cup holds like a litre of soup, so it's good.
Yeah. So you can. I feel like if you're not holding the actual physical, if it's got a handle,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, exactly. And what I like about that pumpkin soup is Haley.
That's why it's okay to just eat soup out of a cooking pot.
Exactly, straight out
Because
of
you
the
can
pot.
hold the handles.
The best way to eat food is straight out of the pot you cooked it in,
With a
really
straw.
fast.
With a straw.
Just eating it really fast. That's the best way to do it.
Like prison rules, someone might get it.
You might notice when having dinner with me and the kids, sometimes like when you're here, it's pretty much like a prison camp the way you eat.
It's insane.
Otherwise, the kids try to steal the food off your plate.
Yeah, that's it. You get it.
So what I like about Haley's pumpkin soup is she roasts the pumpkin first before making the pumpkin soup. So
It's double murdered.
gives it a little bit of extra kick.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome to the pumpkin soup cast.
Well, we give you different recipes for pumpkin soup.
Exactly.
For instance, murdering your pumpkin by roasting it, and then double murdering it by pureeing it into soup.
You've got to kill things in as many different ways as possible.
I think so.
Yeah. So it's been happening.
Well, my whole week has been a bit of a shambles, actually.
Why is that?
Well, because Monday.
I'm just going to fix the camera up a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Mostly focus on you, and no one wants to see you. So
no, that's it.
Yeah.
Get off me. Well, on Monday I worked my normal job, and then got a delightful phone call from my second job saying, "Would you like to do night shift tonight?"
Yeah.
And I, like the genius that I am, thought, okay, I'll do that. Yeah. So I went home and slept for 3 hours. And then
is that when I spoke to you the other day and you were just trying to go to sleep? Yeah.
It didn't work very well.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I was quite tired when I got home from work. So I was like, yes, I'll be able to sleep, no problems.
Yeah.
Didn't take a piss before I went to bed.
Oh.
So
slept pissed to bed.
Well, there was a point in time where I thought I've been sleeping for 2.5 hours and I've just woken up needing to take a piss. If I get out of bed, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Should I risk it and piss to bed? But then I tried to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And no, the urge was too great, so I had to get up and try to take a piss. And then I sort of half slept a little bit and not really anything till then. Then the alarm went off and I went into the city and jumped on an excavator and worked all night. And then
sounds awesome.
Got back to the yard, slept for an hour in my van, then went out to my normal job again.
Jesus.
Running machinery. And then I had my bike and everything packed, so I was going to ride BMX after work on Tuesday, but then I pulled the pin on that pretty quickly.
That's fair enough, yeah.
As you do.
Oh, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
And I'm just catching up. I've been catching up on sleep. It's Thursday now.
And Thursday? Yeah, it's
Is
Thursday.
It? Wednesday?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah, because Tuesday night's midnight.
Yeah, so it must be Thursday. If Tuesday night's midnight, tonight must be Thursday.
That's how you can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and then from here I've got the notification from our friends at Sydney Tools that they're doing a bit of a sale.
So that's right. So we'll have to, after this podcast, you'll have to race off and go buy some tools.
Yeah, well they're doing a bit of a sale where you get a 20% bonus cash if you spend more than $500. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to
Sydney Tools.
No, not at all. But I'm just going to pretend that I'm saving money to justify spending stupid amounts of money.
Heaps of money on tools. Tools are good.
Obviously, because I'm one half of the most lucrative podcast on fake radio.
Tool party.
I can obviously afford to spend money like exactly. It's gone out of fashion. So
yeah, exactly. Well, it's speaking of Tool, did you listen to the episode of Rogan where he's talking to Maynard from Tool?
I did. I really
like Maynard.
How's them not been on Spotify? I actually looked at them. Yeah. They're actually not on Spotify at all.
It's kind of funny, but no, that was a really good one. It's funny, I like listening to Rogan because it has lots of sciencey, nerdy things and that sort of stuff. And but I like that there's such a diverse range of people that are actually on it.
Yeah.
You know who really opened my eyes? Killer Mike. Did you listen to Killer Mike? I don't even know who he is. I think he's a rapper.
He's a rapper, yeah.
And I have zero interest in rap, but I listened to it and that was so interesting. I thought he was awesome.
Killer Mike. What? You didn't catch what rap group is out of? I should know this.
I don't know. Yeah. If you don't know who Killer Mike is, then I guess it doesn't matter what rap group he's from.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I like it. There's one with
someone's in their car yelling.
Yeah,
Killer Mike's
sort of screaming at us.
Probably saying these guys are actually so dumb.
They're probably saying
he's
an actor, not a rapper.
And now they're like, I can't believe that Mitch is saying exactly what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
And then he's like, I can't believe he's recognising this right now as I'm recognising it.
And then
but I can guarantee.
I can't believe Mitch is staring to the camera right now, going, "I'm thinking your thoughts." Like the guy that Rubbo Direct had. I'm on your holiday. Remember that one?
What?
Shut up. But yeah, there was one a while ago with Dan Flores talking about coyotes.
Coyotes, not coyotes.
COY. And do you know where the word coyote came from?
Isn't it coyote? Coyote? Oh, no.
It's because it's pronounced by redneck Americans.
Okay.
Coyote.
Coyote.
It's from coyotl, which is the Spanish word for that dog. So,
yeah,
anyway.
The Spanish word for that dog.
That dog, yeah, that's what it is. It's Spanish for that dog over there. But,
the one that's murdering my chickens.
Like, I had zero interest in that dog before that podcast. And since listening to the podcast about that dog by Dan Flores, it's seriously like, it was so interesting. I've re-listened to that podcast like 3 times. It's a 3-hour podcast about that dog.
It's like your podcast. It's my Alex Jones that I listen to all the time.
Exactly. Although I did re-listen to the Alex Jones one a couple of times.
Oh, so funny.
Alex Jones, Elon Musk, and Dan Flores have been my 3 favourite ones on there. So anyway, this is the Joe Rogan experience catch-up hour.
The JRE.
Yeah. I thought there was something I was going to say. Oh,
do you reckon we should get a guest on at some point?
we definitely should. Do you
reckon they were good when we had guests? I don't know.
Well, Andy was no good.
He
was useless.
Aki was kind of shitty.
Aki sucked. Brad he's too weak to have on the podcast.
He's not strong enough. He can't aim.
Way too weak. I think that's pretty much it. Who
else do we have?
I'm going to get Colin from my work to come on. He'll be good. I don't know who else we could have.
Daniel Bell wants to come on, but I don't know if he's got the backbone for it.
He'd be fun on it. He'd be good on it.
He would be good, but I don't want him to know that. I think he would be alright.
Do you reckon we could make him cry live on the podcast?
He doesn't seem like a crier.
Yeah,
he's a weeper, definitely a weeper.
He's a moper.
He could be he's a moper.
He'll drop the bottom lip. He'll definitely drop the bottom lip.
He'll give it a quiver, but I don't think he'll tear up top.
We've had my stupid kids on the podcast before, so
I think he's a crier below the nose. Like I think he's a
below the just a
below the nose
crier. Below the nose crier. Oh Jesus. Yeah, he's definitely
we've
below
all
the
seen a
nose
below
crier.
the nose crier.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He's definitely a below the nose crier. Hell, I reckon we should get some guests on this. I don't want to keep looking at your stupid head.
Gets the wobble, gets the bottom lip wobble.
Yeah, the quiver. He's a below the nose crier, lip quiverer.
Yeah, that's who he is.
So
that's him.
But yeah,
so he'd be good on the podcast.
Yeah, he'd be good
if we can get him going.
He's he lives local to here too, so
probably just up the road.
Yeah, we should get him on, but not
just like me.
Yeah, you live up a few roads from here.
Up a lot of roads, but
for a long time.
But you know what?
Yeah,
I got some heart, dude. I make it happen.
That's true, and I think we need to. You know what I reckon we need to do?
This is the Sad Party Experience, Joe Rogan Experience improvement.
So the Joe Rogan Experience, Sad Party Experience, brainstorming session.
Brainstorm. This is how we're going to make this is a podcast improvement.
I think we need to do a van cast. I think we need to do a podcast while driving. I find driving is when you think of the weirdest stuff.
Well, okay. All right, we'll do it.
I was supposed to maybe go to Sydney this weekend to pick up a motorbike for my dad, but that fell through.
Yep.
Next time we do a road trip like that, I think we need to just do, just bang 12 podcasts. Can you imagine how repetitive and mundane it'd be by the end of it?
Just drag.
Did I tell you this? Yeah, 5 times.
Fuck, the outskirts of Sydney are weird.
Oh, God. Did you...
Check out this bloke's Camry.
To check for a bit of a change, I just thought I'd ask this. Did you happen to watch Stranger Things?
I did. I did watch that. Yes, I did.
I really liked it.
I watched it real quick too. We got it done real quick.
I feel like the first 2 seasons were like an A/B test.
Well, do you want to know something about that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a fucking Stranger Thing was until you know what I mean? Until the 3rd season, and then I sort of I watched the quick recap.
Oh, so you hadn't seen
season 1 and 2?
Oh, okay, yeah. See, season 1's awesome. Season 2 it's worth watching, but it was a bit sort of mundane.
What's that show where the kids are walking up the train line?
Stand By Me.
Yeah, I've seen Stand By Me, so I've seen seasons 1 and 2. So go on to the next.
That's not really
pretty
the
much
same.
exactly the same.
No.
It's a 2-hour recap of what's happening.
I don't know about that. You've watched John Wick, haven't you?
No, dude, I have to watch John Wick. I've not seen it. I've not seen any of them.
I want to stab you with this pencil, which is a very John Wick thing to do. So
Yeah, I've heard it's amazing. I love Keanu Reeves and everything. I've just not seen any of them. Not even seen 1, 2, 3.
I haven't seen number 3 yet, but 1 and 2 are on Netflix. Just go home tonight and watch number 1, then watch number 2.
And then should I follow that up with number 3 or should I not bother?
I'd say so. I haven't seen number 3
if I just watch John Wick 1 and 2 and then Stranger Things 3 again, I encapsulate the whole lot.
That's exactly right. Yeah. It's like you can...
half the work for twice the show.
Well, you can go to the bathroom, you can go to the toilet and door, number 1 and number 2, and then watch Stranger Things 3, and you've seen the whole John Wick franchise.
Yeah, because it's sort of... The first 2 John Wicks are exactly the same as the first 2 Stranger Things, and then the last John Wick's the same as the Stranger Things 3.
Funnily enough, John Wick's a little bit different to Stranger Things. It's probably about the same amount of killing, but there's a lot more killing.
Actually, John Wick owes me $50. I'll have to have a chat to him.
John Wick. Classic John Wick.
Not paying me $50.
Johnny Wick.
Nah, but I do want to see that. I've heard it's quite good.
John Wick 3, back in the candle.
Huh?
Wick. Candle Wick.
Oh.
I don't know.
Ah!
Yeah, I want to see number 3, but I think I've said this on the podcast before. I don't know how number 3 can step it up, because in number 2, he got to shoot Ruby Rose, so because he got to shoot Ruby Rose, I don't know how you can beat that.
No, you can't.
Yeah. And it's not a spoiler alert, because he shoots a lot of people.
I'm just trying to think if I've seen any other movies recently.
Do you watch any of the Avengers things? Did I ask you that?
No, I don't really get down with Marvel.
Either do I normally, but I watched Endgame, which is like the big finale end thing, and it was really good.
Yeah?
It was really good.
I can't watch... I just feel like you see one of those freaking movies, you've seen them all, like all the Transformer movies and all that. It's all the same shit, isn't it?
Did I tell you, have you seen that Ready Player One?
Who? Oh, Ready Player One.
I started watching it. I watched about 5 minutes of it, and I was looking at it, and then Hayley walked in, she looked at the screen, and she goes, "This looks like when people put up on YouTube clips of them playing video games." And I was like, oh, it does look like that. It looks like you're watching other people play a video game.
What do you mean?
Like
you're watching the video of some, like...
Yeah, it's like...
Pimply-faced nerd with big headphones on, yelling at people on Fortnite.
It's like someone has been playing a video game and recorded the screen and just put it up. That's what it's like. It's like watching a video game. It's just crap. I really couldn't get into it. I watched like the first probably 5-10 minutes, and I was like, I'm over this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
what have I been watching?
I've been watching...
I watched... have you seen Bumping Mics with...
Yes.
Dude, that is so good.
Yeah, David Tell and... what's his face?
Jeff Ross,
yeah.
Jeff Ross,
It's so good.
Those guys are
How
awesome.
good is the bit where Gilbert Gottfried is ranting in the crowd about that guy? Like saying how that... The guy that I think Jeff Ross knows from when they were younger and that sort of stuff, he goes, when we're going through stuff, I was... I think his name, for example, Larry, would come over and comfort me, and he goes, and Gilbert Gottfried gets up and goes, "Well, Larry came over and killed both my parents."
That's right.
It's so straight. That was really
his
good.
voice. I can't get over the parrot on Aladdin. I can't even get past it, man. His voice. All I picture is that stupid parrot.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I picture is that parrot every time he talks.
Yeah, I haven't seen Aladdin.
Huh?
I haven't seen Aladdin.
No, I don't think I've seen it either, but I know he's a parrot. I remember I tried to watch it once.
Yeah, you were watching it.
We were talking about it once at the pub.
It was on the pub with children, yeah.
Didn't watch it all. Didn't watch.
Well,
but it was pretty... It had a high kill count, if I recall.
That's what I've been watching. Have you ever watched Community?
Yes.
Community's awesome. I've never seen it.
It is a good show.
And I've been watching it through the first season now, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Gets... Yeah, the first, 3 seasons are good, and then it gets a bit fucking weird.
Well, the guy who wrote Community is Dan Harmon, who wrote Rick and Morty.
Yes.
He writes Rick and Morty. And it's funny, because I'm watching Community, and I'm like, I can see how he evolved into doing Rick and Morty. Like, certain
From Community?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it is very fucking bizarre, isn't it?
Sort of stuff. And, but funnily enough, he got fired for the 3rd season, and then Joel McHale, the main guy on it, he petitioned and basically begged and hassled and stuff to get Dan Harmon back to write for it for the later seasons.
So
yeah,
probably was.
So Dan Harmon is the reason it was good. So
yeah.
But, no, I'm really enjoying Community. I reckon it's awesome.
Community's cool.
I'm 10 years late to the game.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all the same.
I'm stoked that I'm 10 years late to the game, because I've turned on. There's 7 seasons.
It's all new.
6 seasons.
Yes.
This is awesome. It's really, really good. I'm really enjoying it.
What else have I watched? I've pretty much...
What else have I watched?
I know I've watched stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know what stuff. Man, what did I do the other day? I went for a run. I ran up I got my goggins on the other day as well.
Looked at your phone.
Friday night, because we did the pods Thursday last week.
Yeah.
So Friday night, I got home from work
Yeah.
and I got my goggins on.
Yeah.
And I went for a hell mission run on Phillip Island at the Pinnacles.
Yeah.
There's this like brutal death hill.
Yeah. That's good.
And I ran, like, dude, it's so high. And I ran up this hill. And about a quarter of the way in, I'm like, I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I'm not. And dude, I just ran like up
That's
this
good.
death hill the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've never, like, I tried to run up it a few times, but I never have. And then
That's
I was like, then I just kept hearing Goggins' voice. And then I was like,
It's awesome.
I made it.
I channeled my inner Goggins. I was going to say my inner Goggins the other day. And
I guess just pulling out some Goggins when you...
yeah,
just...
because I've been going for like a walk and a run each morning, trying to be less of a wombat.
And that's the sound of...
On Saturday, I gave myself a sleep in because I didn't have to get up for work. Usually I'm up at 4:30 every
then
day.
did you scream, stay hard when you got out of bed?
No, but
Stay hard!
how can you not understand how to close that
not
bottle?
get
How can you not close that bottle? Oh, I was about to say you seem like you've worked it out. No, you haven't. My 4-year-old who can't count to 5 can close that bottle, and you can't. How?
No, because I'm left-handed. Fuck off.
I'm left-handed.
Is that? Oh yeah, got it.
Oh. Very good.
Next time I'll just leave it open.
You have to channel your inner Goggins to work out how to close that. Yeah, so I the other day I thought I'd give myself a sleep in on the weekend. I set my alarm for 6 instead of 4:30. I'm like, hour and a half sleeping, this is perfect. And I woke up before my alarm and I thought, I'm awake, I might as well get up. And I looked at my phone, it said 4:31. I'd slept in
for one whole minute.
1 minute. But I got up and I went for a big walk, and I thought, because it was sort of drizzling a bit in the morning, I've been just wearing a snow jacket. It's been 2 degrees in the mornings, and I put the snow jacket on. I was just walking. I was listening to podcasts and just going. I listen to Tofop a lot, and it's Will Anderson's podcast, and I was listening to that, and I had 2 episodes of it to listen to, and they go for like an hour, so I just kept walking and walking.
Till you got through them?
Till I got through them, and I did like 4 laps of our whole estate, and I just must have looked like a crazy person walking around in the drizzle at like 5 o'clock in the morning with
in a snow jacket on.
just walking past it.
Obviously naked under it.
Yeah, hopefully. So, well, most people are naked under their clothes, but so I walked for like 2 hours, and I'd sort of walk for a bit, and then I'd run for a bit until I felt like my heart was going to explode. Then I'd walk for a bit until my heart didn't explode, and just sort of alternated doing that.
Yeah.
And God, was I wrecked for the rest of the day. But it was awesome.
So you started to go into cardiac arrest, then you went into cardiac bail, then you went into cardiac arrest again, and then cardiac bail, and you
Cardiac out on bail.
and cardiac posted bail, and you.
No, it was really good, and like, so I've just been doing that each day, and just by like that was a big one because I went for 2 hours, but just each day going for like half an hour each morning, I just feel that much better. But I feel like crap at the moment, and I think didn't occur to me until just then, but I felt a bit sort of woozy all day. But me and Max went and got our flu shots last night, and because we got a new baby on the way, so you get like the flu injection update thing, and it's an update, like it's like a Windows update.
Oh yeah.
But and
so you feel fluey today?
Well, he said at the time, he goes, you might feel a bit crappy tomorrow. I'm like,
because I'm about to give you the flu.
Yeah, exactly.
Injection.
Yeah, and so. It might be from that, and I was just like, because all day I've just been like, just feeling gross, so maybe it's just because I'm gross. So.
Maybe it might be because dude just shot you with a bit of flu.
Exactly. I was thinking we should probably do the quiz.
Do you want to do the quiz?
Yeah, I reckon we will.
Oh, fucking dredge through another one, eh?
Alright, this one is from Wednesday, July 24th, 2019.
So anyway.
What were you saying?
So what was I doing? The other day, that's right, the other day, when we did actually our last block of podcasts, I never mentioned this to you, I forgot to.
Yeah.
I messaged, like, I'm in a group chat with a couple of boys from work.
Yeah.
And I messaged them, like, because they listen to the podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
And I messaged them, like, what should we talk about on the podcast?
Yeah.
And then my mate Benny goes, what about that, you know that Aussie guy that didn't stand on the podium with the drug cheat from China?
Don't know.
Did you ever hear that?
No, I don't know.
So a guy from China got done doing, like, performance enhancing drugs, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Those rumours of it or whatever, and the Australian guy didn't stand on the podium. And I'd just come off having a chat with these boys about Dave Warner and Steve Smith, like about the cricket, and they're like, oh, they should got banned for a year. I'm like, they should got banned for life. I'm like, no, they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So I had a big argument. So anyway, they think that I'm on the side of the cheaters.
Yeah.
So he messaged me he's like, oh, why don't you talk about that cheat from China?
Yeah.
And I go, and how like that legend Aussie guy didn't stand on the podium with him.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that's pretty un-Australian, isn't it? That's so un-Australian of that Aussie guy not to stand on the podium with him if it's not even been proved he was actually cheating.
Oh, so they didn't actually prove
No,
it?
he was. Yeah, he's not like a dirty cheat. The guy's terrible.
Yeah.
And then I messaged the other dude in the chat just probably. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, did I just trigger Benny? And then I got this fucking message back saying, you're fucking joking like all this shit about.
It's good. Getting people revved up is fun.
I don't know. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking with you.
It's kind of like how, like...
But I knew he would bite. I knew it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I just like said, oh no, that dude's so un-Australian for doing that. It's so...
So good. Getting people rolled up is so much fun. I love it. So, yeah. Well, I don't know. I think we should do the quiz. I'll actually quite like...
We neglect it sometimes.
Yeah, but if we alternate, I think it's not too bad. If we feel like it, I sort of feel like doing the quiz. Because I glanced at one of the questions. I'm like, oh, I actually know the answer to that. So I know you'll probably get it too. So we'll at least get 1 point each, which is better than nothing.
Well, that's alright. I just don't want to do the quiz if we don't get any of them.
Yeah. Right. What we'll do from now on, if we do the quiz and we don't get any points, we'll just delete that.
Delete it, and then we'll do it again.
All right. Shut up and listen.
Okay.
Number 1. Catchy
Did I
shubby.
tell you I put a headlight globe in my van?
You did.
Okay. Go on.
I'm really pissed off that you're a diesel
Oh
mechanic.
shit, my diesel mechanic story. I forgot to say that.
Alright, yeah, stuff the quiz. Diesel mechanic story.
See, I'm a qualified diesel mechanic.
Yeah, see, I forgot about that because the amount of times you've asked me to work on your motorbikes and things like that, I know they're not diesels, but they are mechanical things. You asked me to do things on it, and then I'm like, hold on a minute, you've actually got qualifications.
Yeah, so when I do actually physically like work on stuff, it's right.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate doing it. And so basically I did my apprenticeship, right?
Yeah.
So I was qualified, and I was qualified for probably a month
Yeah.
out of my apprenticeship. And then me and my stupid mates were like, yeah, we'll make it ride moto. Because I just like was racing heaps back when I was 21.
Yeah, and you're like...
And I was doing good, and I like got graded to A grade, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's go to America and train.
Yeah.
So we organised like a 3-month trip to go to
That's
MCF.
understandable, yeah. Yeah.
And I told my boss, and he said, well, you can't have 3 months off.
Yeah. So
And I said, well, I'm quitting.
yeah.
I'm going.
That's good. That's awesome.
So
I quit a job to go.
how good's
overseas
like
as well.
just that's so irresponsible. I think about doing that now, and I just think it's fucking crazy. But I think it's
I do think that, but then I think now...
how's
and
quitting a job just to fucking go on a
you're
holiday?
30?
29.
29? Yeah, like, that's
Closing on.
8 years ago. And it's like, realistically, when you're 21, you're a kid. Like,
Yeah.
you're a kid. Do whatever the hell you want. If you haven't got...
Well, I still do.
Yeah, exactly. But what I mean is, like, when
Yeah, I know
you're
what you
younger,
mean.
like, I don't regret anything. Like, yeah, I'm married with 2 kids and another kid on the way and that sort of stuff, but I'm like, I can't just quit my job and go to America to race. I can't just quit my job and go, like, even the idea of going to Romania to do Romaniacs and things like that, I can't do that. I'm like, it'd be irresponsible of me to go, all right, I'm going to drop 20 grand on going overseas to race in a race that I'm probably going to come last in. But when you're younger and you don't have any responsibilities, realistically, what does it matter?
Well, how's this for
Like 20 grand, you go, all right, well, I'll come back and work for 3 months and there's that money back. Like,
Yeah.
so what? It doesn't matter. But when you've got responsibilities and stuff, like, yeah, you've got a house and things like that, but with no kids, it makes a big difference too. So you can just, like, as you said, you went BMX riding and stuff on the weekend. It's like, well, I'm looking forward to, because my kids are riding BMX now.
Going riding with them.
Yeah, like if you go ride, for example, say you went to like the old Knox skate park or somewhere where there's like a bit where the kids can goof around, like I'll gladly meet you there, and then I'm doing stuff with the kids for the day, which is awesome, and having fun. Like we always have fun together anyway, but there's been a span of the last few years where the kids aren't quite old enough to do the things that I want to do, and I like doing stuff with them, but it's different. Like I love doing stuff with them, but I'd rather do the things that I enjoy
and make them do it.
Make them do it, but like if they enjoy it too. So yeah, it's sort of different, but yeah, it's good.
well, how's this for irresponsible?
Yeah.
On that America trip,
Yeah.
I went down to the Commonwealth Bank
Yeah.
and got a $23,000 personal loan. I saved zero money, got a personal loan for 23 grand.
That's so
Went
good.
over to America, bought a Honda,
Yeah.
broke my leg in the first week, compound fractured my tib
It
fib.
shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Because I was so determined. At the end of the first week on the Friday, we were doing a section in rollers.
Yeah.
And I crashed super hard.
Yeah.
And got a concussion for sure. There's no
Yeah.
doubt I had a concussion.
Yeah.
So instead of just not riding, I went up to the workshop, straightened my bike out,
Yeah.
and then kept riding. And then at the end of the day, we're doing motos,
Yeah.
and I missed a shift and stepped through the bars
Jesus.
and compound fractured my tib fib out of the skin.
Yuck.
Landed on my feet, and then got a helicopter to the hospital
Oh, jeez.
the next state away. And then I got to be on crutches for the rest of the trip and had 2 surgeries while I was over there.
God.
And then I got home and I had no job.
Yeah, no job. 23
No
grand
job,
debt,
$23,000.
and a broken leg.
And then I thought, you know what I'll do for money?
Yeah.
I'll work at a motorbike shop.
Oh, God. But it's one of
And
those
I
things.
remember I got back and I wanted to ride so bad, and I had no tyres because I couldn't ship my tyres back on my bike.
Yeah.
So I had to go down to New World Honda.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey guys, I don't have any money to buy tyres. Have you got any second
Old
handies
tyre,
that I
yeah.
can grab?
That's awesome. Well,
Full hobo spare.
when I went to the States in 2003, I went with Luke Fink. He'd won the BMX Worlds earlier that year, and we went over for the LG Action Sports Tour, which was like
Yeah, I
next
remember
day.
that.
Yeah. And we went over for that, and I was like, all right, I really want to go. I really want to do this. Yep, cool. Spoke to the boss and said, I want time off in December for this. And he's like, oh, okay, all right, just remind me close to the date. And got close to the date, and I said, oh, about that time off in December. And he goes, oh, you can't have time off in December. So I just quit. And quit and just went. And I did the same thing. Like, I never had any money when I was younger. I just had a credit card, and that's when I just went, all right, well, just went to the travel agent in Dandenong. Like, I went from work where I just quit, went to the travel agent in Dandenong and just swiped the card for like a $3,000 plane ticket. It cost a fortune to go to America back then. And in America, the Aussie dollar was worth 48 US cents at that time.
Oh,
so we went over, and that's where I got that lens, the lens I was talking about. And it owed me a fortune. And I was just like, credit card, just on anything. I just didn't care. And me and Fink were just traveling around, stuffed around, being idiots. And the competition was terrible. Like the LG Action Sports Tour, no one turned up. Like all the riders were there, but it was on I think it was on a Thursday or something like that. And no one spectated.
No spectators,
And it started raining in California. Like, it never rains in California, and it started raining that day. And we were there with all these BMXers and Alistair Witten and Dave Mirror and all these guys. All these pro riders were there, and we were like, oh, awesome. There's nothing here. So then we got a rent-a-car, and because it was me and Fink, so we destroyed the rent-a-car because that's what we do. Then we got another one, and then that one got trashed because we're driving around, and it was a left-hand drive car, but it was a Mitsubishi Magna or something like that, and the handbrake was on the right-hand side. But they didn't swap the handbrake over for that. So we're driving around, we're booting around doing 70 or 80 mile an hour, and Fink's in the passenger seat, and he's just ripping on the handbrake on me without me knowing. We drove through a river crossing in it, and just all this stuff, and blew out 3 of the tyres. But we just had that much fun, and were that stupid for a month. It didn't matter. I was like, so what? It's money. Who cares?
Yeah,
I didn't have
literally.
When you haven't got any money, you don't really care if you lose the money.
Yeah.
Which is really dumb. It's really irresponsible. But I was like, I'm 21. Who cares? It just didn't matter. And sure enough, get back and then go, oh, I better find a job now.
Better sort this out.
Yeah, and just work and slowly but surely pay it off over time and go, it's just whatever. But I think as long as you're not going to hurt anyone, or you're not going to jeopardize things for other people, like if you've got kids and that sort of stuff, just do whatever the hell you want. It really doesn't matter.
No, it's all good, isn't it?
I think now, I was 21 when we did that trip, and then I did another trip around the States the next year and that sort of stuff. But I was like, I'm 36 now, and I still think about that first trip with Fink and the next trip, which was with my brother and my mate Ian and that sort of stuff. I think about it, I reckon probably every couple of days I think about those trips.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, that's right, we did this. Or when we were in New Jersey, because we went and rode with Scotty Cranmer in New Jersey and that sort of stuff. And we were like, when we were in Pennsylvania, that's when Pete was riding for Hoffman, and I can't remember his name. This guy, awesome rider, he was riding for Hoffman. Pete had broken a frame. We had to pick a frame up from his house, and got there, and Chris Doyle answers the door because this guy lived with Chris Doyle. I can't remember his name. I feel really bad because I can't remember his name. It was 15 years ago. But and we were like, Jesus Christ! Like, this is 2004. This is at the height of Chris Doyle being gangster. Like, he's still an amazing rider now, and we were there like, Jesus Christ, Chris Doyle's here. This is awesome. And he was like, oh, so what are you boys doing? We're like, oh, we're just going to go ride the local skate park and we're going to go find a motel. He goes, no, just crash here. And we're like, Jesus Christ. And he goes, oh, you can sleep in the basement. And we were like, okay, it's a bit weird. Went down there, basement's decked out, awesome carpet, big TVs and stuff. And we stayed there with a bunch of guys. And there was a guy there, I don't know, can't remember his real name. They call him the Mangler. They always call him the Mangler. He was one of the funniest dudes. Ryan Barrett, that's the guy who rode for Hoffman, who your brother got the frame off. And we stayed with them, and we're riding with them, and we rode Dave Ryan Nyquist's backyard ramp and all these things, all these ramps and skate parks that we'd seen in
videos
TVs and videos, like all the old Expendable videos and stuff. And we're riding them all, and I'm like, this is so awesome. And even though I haven't touched a BMX for so long, we're thinking, like, I think about these things all the time. And I want to go to the States in a few years' time, like, once we're sort of up to date with life and everything's just chilled, and, like, this new baby, once it comes along, once that's a little bit bigger and can actually walk around and do things, I'm like, I want to go to the States with Haley and the boys and road trip around, and I'll take my BMX. I'll be this dumb, fat 40-year-old plopping around. But the boys ride BMX, and like, they might even skate then. Who knows what they'll do? But I'm looking forward to.
You might even get lucky, and they might even be scooter kids.
Oh, yuck! I'm looking forward to the next chapter of doing those sorts of things with my boys. Like, I used to do it with my mates, and then like we still do camping weekends where every year, probably about twice a year, we do our big crazy camping weekend with all my mates. There's like 60 of us and blow heaps of stuff up and things like that. But they're doing it this year.
The sacrificial cars.
Yeah, like you've seen the videos and stuff. Like,
crazy.
But they're doing it this year on the weekend that our baby's due. And when Wes came along, it was like, oh, I think I'm having a baby to...
Haley will be right by herself though, won't she?
45 minutes later, Haley looks like cat dog with a face at each end, and then a few minutes later, the baby's in your hand, and you go, oh, jeez. So, like, if all that can happen in like an hour... The last thing I can do is be 2 hours away on a camping weekend. And I'm like, so I won't be doing that this weekend. But I'm like, I look forward to all those sorts of times so much. And I'm like, I like the idea of creating times like that with the kids. Like, just fun stuff. Like, just doing dumb things. Like, that's why I've been enjoying going to the skate park with the kids and that sort of stuff. It's just fun. Like,
it's cool.
It's a different world. And I reminisce about the old BMX travelling days, but I wouldn't necessarily... Like, I wouldn't trade what I've got now for that, no way. But also, I know if I started travelling now, like if I said, hey Mitch, we're going to do a road trip to Canberra and go ride BMX, it's not the same as when it was 15 years ago.
Not when you're a kid,
like,
no way.
I'll be doing that and I'll be driving, and then I'll be calling the wife to check up on the kids and see how they're doing, and then I'll be like, oh God, I feel guilty because the kids they're going on a birthday party here, and I'd go with them because in play centres I'll play around with them and stuff, and I'm like, it's a different world.
Yeah,
and
dad life, man.
Yeah,
dad life.
It's combination of dad life, and also your priorities sort of change over time.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you could ride
moto.
I'd
say that, but I really like riding BMX like a child.
That's awesome. Like, you could ride moto and BMX pretty much every day if you wanted to, moto or BMX. So you can ride BMX after work and you can ride moto and that sort of stuff, but you've also still got, like, crap to do around the house. You got to make your dinner and do crap like that, and wash clothes and do all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You've got life responsibilities.
When you're a kid, you're a hobo, you don't care. Like, you're literally just a hobo, aren't you?
Even the oldest 21-year-old I know, like people who are mature for their age at 21, they're still a child. Like,
your brain's not even developed yet.
Exactly right.
Your brain's not finished.
Yeah, your
cooking.
prefrontal cortex finishes cooking when you're like 22. So,
and then it starts going downhill when you're 27. So fucking enjoy it.
Exactly. So, like, I don't see. Again, saying that, I was going to say, I don't see any reason to not be irresponsible. But then for my kids, when they're 20, 21, I'd hate to see them go overseas. Like, I'd be all for it from their point of view. But I'd be like, I don't want my kids to go overseas and be away from me. Like, maybe I'm a helicopter parent, but I don't know. It's just...
Man, I didn't even get to call my mum and say that I'd fucking had a broken leg in America.
Yeah.
I'd like Colleen Millsaps call her up and say, hey, your son's like, broke his leg.
Well,
and she was fucking horrified.
Oh,
Like, she'd been so fucking scared.
I remember when my brother ruptured his spleen in the BMX crash.
Don't.
When Pete ruptured his spleen in the BMX crash, he was like, I think he would have been like 12 or 13.
That'll teach him for riding kids' bikes.
Yeah, so I was like 14, and I had to like carry him home. This is some jumps that we built up the end of our road, and I like carried him home with a ruptured spleen, and he's crying and sucking like because of his ruptured spleen. And I'm like,
I just thought it was because he was a pussy.
It's just because he was a giant pussy. Yeah. But at the time, I'm thinking about, for him, I'm like, oh, that sucks. And I'm thinking about, for me, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I had to carry him. Like,
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, you cut my
but I
right.
still felt sorry for him. But I'm like, we were also like, I think now I'm like, that would have sucked for my folks. Like,
Yeah, you think like...
yeah, and like I look at the boys, and like I've seen my kids hurt themselves sometimes, and it's devastating. Like, it wrecks me. And
horrible.
it's the worst. And
you think like, just remember when you're a kid and you see your dad hurt. Like,
Yeah.
imagine when he's like sees you get hurt.
Exactly,
Like, it's
yeah.
so bad, isn't it?
that's exactly right. And like, touch wood, I've been lucky. I haven't been seriously hurt. Like, I've dislocated knees.
You
and
don't
that
really
sort of
send
stuff. Yeah, I'm a bit of a pussy, but like, it's true. But even when I broke my face and that sort of stuff, like, it doesn't really matter. It's not like a big injury, but
You can
like-
definitely still tell.
but yeah, exactly. But with Pete, like, because Pete's had 8 knee reconstructions and he's broken everything. Like, even when he hit that tree last year or whatever, in a motorbike crash, and
Yeah.
he broke his collarbone and ribs and that sort of stuff. And like, I got a phone call from my mate Dallin, who was there, and he goes, "Oh, Pete's just been in a crash." I'm like, "Oh God, for someone else to be calling me, telling me
Yeah,
he's
it's gotta
been in a
be good.
crash." And I go, "Well, how is he?" And he goes, "Oh, they're airlifting him to the hospital. I guess they'll call you when he gets there." And I'm like, Jesus Christ. But then I'm like, I had to call Mum and tell her. So I
Yeah.
called Mum, and she's
Jeez.
like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Like, and I'm like, since being a dad, I'm like, oh, dealing with that sort of stuff would just mess with you.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not even going to tell you some of the horrible stories. Since being a dad, I've heard some stories of like people with their kids and things like that, like when bad things happen, and it messes with you that much, and you just, I don't know, it's a bit scary. So I think that's why with BMX, like, I'd hate to be the soccer dad equivalent of a BMX dad or whatever,
Yeah.
but I just would like to be there, just to
At
sort
least
of,
if you
just to be
like getting a
around,
phone
yeah.
call or something bad instead
Exactly,
of being there
yeah.
is different, isn't it?
It's exactly right. And I remember my mum and dad, they hated watching Pete ride in comps and stuff. They were scared of it because he'd smash himself to bits all the time. And I think it was like they'd rather find out later everything's okay, like he's not hurt, because he was hurting himself so much because he was doing the crazy stuff.
Yep.
So I don't know, like,
When you're young, you don't even think about that. You don't even think about it at all.
You don't. I never ever once considered how my parents felt when I hurt myself and things like that.
Yeah.
Never really thought about that. And
That's really bad.
but you just don't think of it at the time. And my boys will be exactly the same. Like, if they're riding BMX or skating or doing Ninja Warrior or whatever they're doing when they're older, if they hurt themselves, they're going to be thinking, oh, this sucks. I'm not going to be able to do insert sport here or insert hobby here for 6 weeks. They're not thinking about me, but I know
And
it'd
you're
be the
like-
worst thing I'll ever have to deal with,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. Like, I don't know. And, like, heaven forbid, the worst happens and that sort of stuff. Like, you hear these things happen, it just... Since having kids, I hate listening to the news. You hear like horrible stories and go, oh, I can't even listen to this. It just messes with me.
yeah.
So,
It's
Ah,
Even like but the problem is as well. Like, I know your kids would be probably a little bit like me. Like, I remember like when I broke my hip and dislocated my
yuck.
feet. It's so I've had some fucking shockers. I think I can't remember properly, but I think like I called Mum and I was like laughing about it. Like, I think I broke my femur. Like, I was like laughing to her on the phone, and she's like, "I'll be the worst." So I'm like, I don't take anything serious.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, it's all good. I'm just like a bit fucked.
It's one of those things.
I'm just like, God. And then I think like in her shoes, she's like got a kid that's like, at the time I thought I broke my femur.
Yeah.
She's got a kid that's fucking like an adult and a retard. That's just scratched his head like and like broke his femur, and he's like laughing to me on the phone about it.
Yeah.
And my son's broken his femur. Like, it's fucking so dumb.
Like, I never, and you just don't think about these things when you're a kid. Like, it's hard enough as an adult to put yourself in other people's shoes, but when you're a kid,
you don't even have other people don't have shoes.
Exactly, yeah.
Other people do not have shoes. You have your shoes and that's it.
Exactly. Oh, well, it's been a bit of a weird, depressing podcast. Not depressing. I think it's cool. Like I was saying, I think the main thing is like just doing stuff to have fun is really important. Like I think of the dumb things I've done. Like I've had rally cars and that sort of stuff in the past. And I'm like, it's so irresponsible. Like really, the injuries you can do and the damage you can do to yourself and to others and that sort of stuff. Like, but I don't know. I think life experience is pretty important. Doing lots of different things.
Important to have fun. Like it's actually, well, for me especially, like I get so. I'm addicted to progress.
Yeah,
I'm addicted to progression.
You care more about
making myself better. So even if I'm doing something, I have to if I'm sitting in my machine all day, I'm like listening to podcasts that makes me learn shit.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing something to better myself.
See, it's funny.
In some way. I always try to.
I'm like that in the fact that I like reading. I read a lot. I like reading a lot of different things and learn that sort of stuff. But I don't really care about. I'm not a completionist. I don't really care about getting good at something or finishing something. I just like knowing bits and pieces about things. It's always interested me. Like I'm like a bloody crow. Like I'll see something shiny. Oh, that's distracted me over there. And like I can concentrate on things. It's not like an ADD or anything like that. I can read a book and read it from start to finish and just sit there and read for like 8 hours straight. Yeah, and I'd gladly do that. I'm going to probably finish off this book that I'm reading at the moment tonight. I'll probably read for another 2 or 3 hours. But I'm like, I don't, like, my wife's a real completionist. Like, Hayley will draw a picture. She's a really good artist. She'll draw a real life, like, portrait of someone. She'll spend, like, 20 hours worth of drawing time drawing that picture. I'm like, I'll draw for, like, a minute or two and go, oh, it looks like a stick figure. All right, throw it over there. I don't care. Like, I've never really cared that much about completing things. So,
dude, if I wrote out my fucking hobby list, seriously, if I wrote out the list of hobbies and shit that I've just gone fucking hard as at, I'd be writing forever. But the problem is, like, if I had have just done one thing my whole life,
you'd probably be really good,
fucking awesome at
it. Exactly.
There was a time where I would go 10-pin bowling every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And literally, like, you'd pay like $13 and you'd just bowl.
Yeah.
And I would bowl from like 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. just 10-pin bowling.
It's just crazy.
I got addicted to it. I was about to buy a ball, and then I just stopped doing it.
It's funny. Like, I don't know. I do like trying different things. Like, I think back, I'm like, all right, well, there was like BMX, motorbike riding, archery, like rally cars, four drives, and snowboarding. Like, I snowboarded for years and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've been snowboarding for a bit.
There's a snowboard right there. Yeah. That's Hayley's one, that one. But like, yeah, I like so many different things. But you're right. Like, if I had stuck to just
basketball.
What?
I was playing basketball. Remember I played basketball?
Yeah,
I was fucking addicted. I was playing 3 nights a week.
Yeah, you're about 12 foot tall. You're perfect for it. I would get mistaken for the ball.
I don't play basketball. I couldn't give a fuck.
See, like, I get fixated on things. Like, even some of the things I've spoken to you about and that sort of stuff. I do get fixated on things, but only for a short time. But I think also because I've got a good memory, and you seem to have a pretty damn good memory too, and that sort of stuff. You do. You have a good memory. You don't think you do, but you get sort of.
I think doing this helps.
I think it does too.
Because you think about shit.
Yeah, and but like, you just sort of. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't mind learning something new, but not getting really good at just going on to something else, because I don't forget the things that I've learned in that. It's like it's like we're talking about working different jobs. Like my old man doing all these different jobs makes him better at the next job. And I think about it now. I'm like, I honestly reckon the things I do on a dirt bike. It's not because of riding dirt bikes all my life. It's because I rode BMX as well. That's why I like the balancy stuff and weird little trickery and things like that. I like that stuff because of BMX.
BMX helps moto so much.
Yeah, exactly. And moto helps BMX. Like, you watch Chase Hansford riding a BMX. Do you know Chase?
No.
He's gun motocrosser from down in Gippsland. He worked with my brother. Didn't ride BMX, but he hopped on a BMX at the shed and was riding. He ended up flipping the resi box in work boots. Doesn't ride BMX, but because of his motorbike background, he can just do that. It's like you look at Travis Pastrana and things like that. Like, Pastrana can do so many
jump on a
things.
mountain bike and just do crazy shit.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the best examples ever is Luke Fink. Like, he was a gun BMXer, and he broke his leg really bad and got into drifting cars and that sort of stuff, and then wins the Australian Drift Championship, competes all over the world doing that. And he put up a vlog video the other day. He's doing vlogging, and got a full drive and wanted to learn to drive it on 2 wheels. Because when I was up there in Queensland seeing him, he had a ramp there for driving cars on 2 wheels.
Yeah.
So the day that he learnt to drive a car on 2 wheels, he drove a full lap of his drift track on 2 wheels with 5 guys in the car.
It's just like manually a BMX,
Yeah.
I guess. It's all the same shit. You can feel when it's about to go either way.
He's that good at things that he's been that good at things in the past that when something new happens, he's like, well, if he's not cocky about it, but he's like, but I know he'd be thinking, well, if people can do it, there's no real reason I can't.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Just
like,
a freak.
But the thing is, most people, like, I try driving a car on 2 wheels. I reckon it'd be awesome fun. I've had a bit of a play around with it in the past and haven't done it that well. But he's, through his eyes, like, yeah, he rolled it a couple of times, but he knows that if you roll a car at 30 k's an hour, it's not going to hurt you. You just go slide on your side and people pull it back on the wheels and go again. Like,
yeah.
You should watch the videos. They're pretty good. But, like, he drove a full lap on 2 wheels with 5 dudes in his car. Like, it wasn't like it was his full drive. He'd never driven the car before either.
Yeah,
he's just like,
rolled into it.
Most people who drive a car wouldn't be able to hit a ramp with 2 wheels. They wouldn't know where those wheels on the left-hand side are. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
They haven't got the spatial awareness of that. But someone like that, my brother's another good example of...
Ryan Brown as well.
Yeah,
Same.
Risey's perfect example. Risey's like, Ryan Brown is an amazing BMXer, starts riding dirt bikes, and all of a sudden he's just one of the best freestylers in Australia, one of the best freestylers in the world. He's just...
Yeah, I'd say in the world.
Yeah, and he's got amazing control.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, he's a gun motocrosser, motorbike rider, but it's because of the BMX background.
Definitely.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think diversifying is really important. Like, like, Ryan could have stayed a BMXer and probably be one of the best BMX riders in the world. He was an amazing BMXer, but by learning his BMX skills and then transitioning to motocross, he got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So, and it's like...
I would like to get him on a BMX as well. It's
scary. Sure. He's amazing on a BMX. Yeah. And I was talking to him yesterday, actually. But like I said, with Fink, like, having that confidence and skill level in one particular discipline, you're going to be able to transition to other things much quicker. And I remember even when he hit a wall at Calder and he was doing it like 1,000,000 k's an hour, and he hit this wall, and he goes, it felt like a basic BMX crash. He goes, yeah, it hurt, but it felt like a BMX crash.
Oh, you're in it.
Our video camera's got 1 minute of battery left, so maybe we should finish up. So,
all right, good stories.
Well, this has been really fun. This has been the longest podcast we've ever done.
Is it?
48 minutes.
Fuck, whoops.
All right, well, have fun, guys.
I want to go to Sydney Tools.
Yeah, you got to go. We're going to go.
Oh, shit, I actually have to fucking
This has been fun. All right.
See you, man.
See ya.
See ya. Bye, everyone.